All right, guys. So we are live on another session of a long day today. And today, Marina and I have the pleasure of hosting Mrs. Natalie Contreras, right? That's your last name.
That's right.
And your company is called Social Syndicate.
Social Syndicate.
And she's actually helping us with our social media as well. So thank you for that.
Of course.
And we're here in Dallas, Texas. We are at a multifamily conference where we're learning how to purchase large apartments and scale our business. Mm-hmm. So thanks for coming.
Thanks for
feeling
having
good?
me. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
All right. I love your energy.
It's
there you go.
fire, bro.
Still grinding.
Connection right now. We're good. We're feeling
We're clocked
good.
in.
We're clocked in.
Yeah.
Anytime, anywhere.
Let's
Who
go.
clocks out?
No
clock
one.
out?
No one.
No, bro. Always clocked in.
The last time I saw you, Adrian, was in another country.
Yeah, Colombia.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Like, what a coincidence we were there at the same time.
What did you think about the Mastermind?
So giving everybody kind of a background, this was like a 7-figure mastermind that Adrian invited me like the day before, which was amazing. Thank you for even thinking about me, inviting me to that event. The mastermind was really great. I mean, they brought a billionaire speaker, somebody who's from that mergers and acquisitions
That was
space.
cool.
And that was really cool. I think my biggest takeaway from that speaker was with the hiring process. You can fix a competency problem, but you can't solve a commitment problem. Since that, we got rid of one of our salespeople.
Really?
And we really doubled down on the person who's been committed to us for a long period of time. And I mean, it was a huge
Game changer.
And it was a game changer for us too.
Yeah.
So, and then there was like a really cool mansion party and good vibes, Colombia, the views, the mountains. Yeah.
Shout out Thomas.
Thomas
Gabe. He is, he hosts a mastermind in Medellin, Colombia. And there was like a good 60 people there. I know you wanted to go. We'll sign you up for the next one. He's actually having it right now.
I know.
Shit.
The second event. So missing out, but I'll be there next event, Thomas, hopefully. So I'm glad you were able to go. There's a lot of people that do what you do, right? So before we even get there, so tell us more about yourself, just very briefly. I like to go tactical, so I'll give you a minute or two just to talk about your background and where you're from and, why you do what you do.
Yeah, so born and raised in Dallas, Texas, and how I got into what I do. I mean, long story short, I was in college and my family was going through a hard time, and my mom went from being a stay-at-home mom to starting her own business out of need, not out of desire. And so started helping her out. She was getting to the real estate game and got her own Facebook groups, starting like a Latino Facebook group of her own to attract clients. From there, got into wholesaling real estate. I really didn't like it, to be honest, just because of the type of people we were talking to. I liked the idea of working with somebody for a long time and building a relationship. Sure. So from there, around like 2 years into wholesaling, transferred into multifamily. And I'll be honest, I kind of just fell into the social media marketing space. I had already been doing Google ads, Facebook ads, building funnels and all that sort. So whenever I got into multifamily and someone I was like, hey, you're young, can you do my social media for me? I was like, sure. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but just so you know, I'll figure it out. That's just the kind of person I am.
That's not a problem.
Figured it out. Next thing you know, we're going to all these different conferences, going to these different events. They're introducing me to their network. And out of need in the market, I started a social media marketing company specifically helping commercial investors to grow their brand on social media, specifically Instagram through short form video content, right? And then from there, basically, long story short, what we do is we help people build their brands to either A, find capital partners, or B, launch education programs, coaching, consulting, communities, depending on what their desire is and what kind of lifestyle they're looking to live.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Cool. And does anyone like in your family do this, or, do you have a background in any of this? Is just
no background. What I will say is growing up, my dad was an entrepreneur. He was always working. He did take me to my first networking event at like 16, 17 years old. So I got introduced to the space and the mindset. But my dad unfortunately got into some bad business, went down the wrong road. But the principles still stayed with me. Relationships, trusting people, finding the right people to work with, not chasing the fast money, but looking for the long-term money. And so I got instilled with the mindset early on. I'm blessed to have that. And from there, it's just, hey, I'm young enough to figure it out. My mindset is, since I'm so young, I could mess up 1,000 times and still be okay. still be all right. So
yeah, just get back up. You fail forward.
Exactly. So
Keep learning.
In the beginning, I was like, I'm just going to fail as fast as possible. Do whatever I can. If something doesn't end up right, I'll figure it out nonetheless.
And that's where people get it mixed up. They don't want to fail.
Oh, yeah.
They're afraid of failure.
And it's like, we were listening earlier in the conference. He was like, if you don't want any risk, if you want some sort of guarantee, the only guarantee is if you don't take any action.
And that's still,
like for you not to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you don't take action and you're just sitting, that's also a risk because you could have actually taken the risk
and made some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so
for sure. So I've gotten pitched, I don't know how many times, from a bunch of people that do what you do. Mm-hmm. Obviously I chose to work with you guys because of certain things, and I'll let you get into that.
I want to know why you decided to work with us.
I'll say that in a little bit. Okay. So hold that thought. But, there's a lot of people that do this, what you do, and not everyone hires them. They don't always stay in business for a long time. So what differentiates, because you've been in business for a while and you've worked with some of the top brands, people that I know and I respect in the industry, people who have, 5,000 units, people who have won Apartment Owner of the Year multiple times. And I'm sure they paid a hefty penny, but they're getting more in return, right? So, what differentiates what you do and how you operate compared to other social media marketing agencies out there that claim to get you followers?
Yep. So I want to set the frame first, right? Like, what are the expectations you're looking to get out of social media? It's going to come down to making more money, getting more business, building more relationships. The thing with most marketing agencies is they're focused on the fast money. They're not valuing the long-term effect of being with a business for a longer period of time and helping them actually grow, because then you get to grow together. Especially because, there were guys like Ty Lopez and other people selling, build your own social media marketing agency, get to $100,000 a month, everything's going to be okay, but they don't teach the client success side. So, what I live by is, even though we're going a little bit slower in the beginning, whenever we're growing, long term, we're going to be building faster, right? So what differentiates us is, our longest client has worked with us for 22 months at this point,
cool.
Right? We really value relationships. Whenever we find someone, we meet them with where they're at. If you're just getting started, you haven't really gone all in with social media, cool. We'll start with where you're at. Here's a game plan. Execute on it. Prove to yourself that you can show up and do what you need to do. Then invest more resources into what's already working. Don't go and spend, $5,000 a month with an agency hoping to get results, hoping you'll show up, hoping that you'll do what you need to do. Start small, build on top of that. So that's what makes us different. Also, we know real estate. We know the finance space. So
that's where I was going to go is, you're in the real estate industry and you target people who are in the space. And you recently went to an event where was it?
I went to Fun Launch Live.
Fun Launch,
in Orlando.
Bridger
Pennington. He's crushed it. I just want to say, with his Fun Launch brand, this is such a side note, but he got offered 8 figures for someone to buy out that brand, and he's made like $30 million just off that.
And he's young.
Mm-hmm.
He's like
28.
Yeah.
I just heard of him, and scrolling, I saw him. I was like, I don't know who this person is. And then 3-4 months later, like, he's all over everywhere. I was like, damn, I guess I should have just started following him since the beginning.
And what's crazy is he didn't have to do that. He comes from a family who's been in the fun business for a long time, right? He grew into, I'm not going to say he grew into money, but, he built himself up to be able to, walk alongside his dad. He didn't have to build a brand. He didn't have to, build a platform to help other people. But he saw an opportunity not only to build a community, to impact others, but also on the back end, they're doing pretty well as well.
Yeah.
People are coming to him to start their funds.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. They realize it's too much work. They just invest with him. It's the perfect funnel.
And how many people were there? There was a lot of people.
At least 3,000.
3,000?
3,000.
Oh my
It
God.
was
Wow.
a lot of people.
Cool.
And all of them new to Fund to Funds, like they wanted to learn, or they were there because just funds?
It was a wide array of people. I would say real estate people were probably maybe 30% of the crowd, people who have real estate funds, multifamily RV parks, developing retail spaces. Met a lot of healthcare people who
It's not only real estate related.
No, there was crypto guys, there was art dealers, there were luxury brands. I mean, anything that you can buy, people have a fund for it.
Yeah.
I met this guy who is starting a luxury brand. I'm into fashion, so he showed me like what he was creating, and it was this heel with an F with his last name, and it had gold-plated bottoms with Swarovski crystals on it.
Oh, nice.
I was like, "Get me a pair of those."
I'm sold.
I'm sold.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So there was a lot of different people, and I mean, you know, for us, why did we go to the event?
Yeah, that's where I was going. Is you're not just sitting behind the scenes. You're actually going to these events and putting yourself in the room, and learning too how to launch a fund. I'm sure you're sitting there learning stuff to be able to better help your clients, right? So where I was going with this question is, why did you choose real estate to niche down and help people in the business?
I like the concept of taking something traditional and bringing it modern. And real estate is always on the lagging end of any trend, of any market, of any software, whatever you think of it. So if we can bring them ahead by getting them on social media, I'll help them. I can get past the learning curve of learning real estate, learning how money works. It's also going to help me because I know I'm going to invest in real estate. So why not get the best of both worlds? And I'll be honest with you, Adrian, whenever I first got into it, I was like, oh, I'll get free mentorship, whatever. So that was another pro that I thought of whenever I was just getting started. I wanted to get into multifamily, and I'm like, I could pay $30,000 to join this mentorship, or I could get a client.
Then pay you, and then you're learning.
And I'm learning, exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Very clever.
So, we talked about traditional, and you helping trying to modernize, the industry and the space and how people market themselves. And real estate is still very old school. Like, a lot of the people, I mean, probably twice my age, just started their Instagram account, don't really know much about hashtags and, SEO and, what catches people's attentions, the hooks, all that stuff.
What do you
B-roll.
think about that? You're deep in the space, right? Your colleagues are, like you said, 40, 50, 60 years old. What do you think is going on through their brains of why they shouldn't be on social media?
I think they know that they need to be on social media.
Why do they know? Like, why? What's the reason why they think that?
Because I think that because they're on social media. Like, they are on social media and they're trolling on social media. So they see how it looks cool and how it looks attractive when other people are doing it. So I think that they know that they need to do it. They just, maybe camera shy.
Feel a little old.
Maybe they feel old. Maybe they don't feel like they don't know where to start.
Intimidated by younger people that are doing it. They're out there. They're fit. They're looking good.
The thing is, too, is I've seen people who realize, like, hey, I need to be on social media. And then they do it, but they suck. Like, it's just like, bro, come on, just don't do it. I mean,
That's
I don't
so
know.
true. I feel like we're like 50% a talent agency looking for the right talent, and then 50% a marketing agency.
Yeah.
There is an aspect of being a personality to a brand.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can be the most educated guy, but if you don't have the personality or know how to communicate, you're not gonna.
It's difficult. You're not gonna close. You're not gonna be able to sell what you have, the product you have. So
yeah,
I mean, adapting is some people can do it, some people can't. Right? So
yeah, it's kind of like public speaking. You just gotta go in front of the camera and just practice and go. And you're not gonna get it right the first time. You might say something that people might get pissed, or you just didn't say it right. You stuttered. Maybe you'll get 1 like and 10 views. But you got to keep going. Like Gary Vaynerchuk. He started Wine Library TV, and the first few videos there was no views, but he made a commitment. I think that's the important thing, is you have to commit to build this out, because it takes time, right? And sure enough, Wine Library TV ended up being, he told his dad that he was going to exponentially increase his business and sell wine virtually. And no one believed him. It was when the internet was just kind of starting to come out, right? I don't know. Yeah. I think I remember his story, but and he just sat behind the, no mics. It was probably like a super cheap camera, and it was boring. I saw some of the first videos. It was so boring, but he made a commitment to change the game for his company. Yep. And he saw ahead of the curve, and he said, hey, this is going to blow up. Online is going to blow up. Social media is going to blow up. I need to stay ahead of it. And so you know, I still think, although, you know, social media has been around for a while and stuff, like I still think that there's opportunity to stay ahead of the curve.
We're in the beginning still.
Why do you think that?
Why? Oh my goodness. I was just having a conversation with one of my clients today about this. We're in the beginning. It might seem saturated, but, you know, how long has social media been around? 10 years?
I don't remember.
I have no
If
idea.
that, let's say.
We're counting MySpace or
No, we're talking meta. It's still in the beginning, right? Do you guys follow pages like Wealth, like at Wealth or at
Oh, all billionaire playbook,
Billionaire Mindset,
travel the world,
whatever?
everything. Yeah.
Do you guys know how much that page would sell for?
Yeah.
How much?
I mean, no, I don't know, but it's a lot of money. Like, it's
how much?
Page,
Let's hear the number.
that page
probably
would go up for that,
20 million.
Yeah, 20 million. Warner Brothers about 2 years ago bought a theme page similar to that for 85 million. That's the new digital real estate, building a platform like that. Because think about it this way. You have a platform or let's say a profile that has people who are interested in a specific niche and a specific industry, right? Billionaire Mindset. They're going to post real estate stuff. They're going to post mindset stuff, watches, whatever. If you start a watch company or let's say you have a real estate company like you do and you promote your page on that, you're getting tens of millions of people looking at you. That's traffic, right? Depending on your systems, your baseline content, that's why it's really important to have a foundation on your page. You could get, let's say, 1% of that. What's 1% of 10 million?
100,000.
100,000 people looking at
10
your
million.
page.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
No,
math.
I'm not the numbers guy in my business, so
Yeah, me
don't-
neither.
So, but the thing is too, is you could just delete like you could build a luxury watch brand, $1 billion luxury watch brand, and you know post a bunch of stuff about watches, and then when it comes time to sell or change it up, you can just delete the posts, and then you know change the name of the profile, and then
Yeah.
it can be now a luxury world travel account.
Exactly.
I've seen people do that.
Yeah, it works. That's what I'm getting at here. That's the new digital real estate. And these pages are maybe 3 to 5 years old, the oldest pages there. You still have an opportunity to either A, buy a page like that. They typically start at like $10,000, $20,000, or B, just start your own.
So you're buying the followers.
Yeah.
You're buying the likes. You're buying.
You're buying the platform.
The platform, yeah, the engagement, because then people just take it over and do their thing.
And
I
now-
mean,
now-
it's like Andrew Tate. I mean, you know, some people like him, some people hate him. I don't care.
He gets attention.
I actually like him, but
You love him,
the
bro.
way he markets,
You have a man crush on him.
yeah, the way he markets is pretty cool.
He does an amazing, I mean, he's the expert at affiliate marketing.
So what does he do? What does he do that works? Like, what's the science behind it?
I mean, first of
Tactical.
all, he was a really cool boxer, fighter
Yeah.
person. I don't really know his
Champion,
backstory too much.
kickboxer,
Champion. He was a boxer.
world champion.
World champion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had a good foundation. He did cool stuff first. I think that we should sit on that real quick. It's really important to do cool stuff first if you're really if you're wanting to go all in on an expert style brand. He's an expert in his mindset and what he does, making money, building community, all that sort. If you're somebody who's watching this and you're just getting started with business, maybe you're a year or two in, still developing skills, you don't really have a solid skill set yet, go for the personality brand. Don't try to pretend to be the expert in something that you're not. You're not going to be able to keep up with that. It's not sustainable to build a brand that's based off a facade,
Yeah.
right? So expert brand versus personality, getting started, 1 to 2 years in business, personality brand. Once you got the hang of it, go the expert brand route.
Wow.
And then personality is traveling. I mean, picking up sports or like working out.
That could be part of it. It's going to be mindset, right? If documenting your journey. Let me ask you, Marin, right? That's how you pronounce your name?
Mm-hmm.
What's your experience right now? What are you doing on a day-to-day basis?
Day-to-day basis is working out. Wake up at. He makes fun of me because I wake up at
3:30.
4:30 in the morning, and then I'm at the gym by 5. Take my little girl to school at 7, and then at 8. Yeah, we
Shout
start
out.
real estate. Alessandra, shout out to Alessandra.
Sandra and
My wife.
Elsa and Mateo.
Mateo, my baby boy.
Hey.
So starting at 8, I start focusing, or throughout that process, I'm already focusing on, okay, this is what I got to do. Start real estate, start calling people. I'm getting better at time blocking, and then at night by 4. So that's pretty much it. Real estate, then family time, and then redo all over again.
So you're a dad, you work out, and you're in sales, smiling and dialing all
Mm-hmm.
day, right? How would we build a personality brand off of that? Cool. Document your journey through the sales process. Did someone cuss you out today? Did you learn something about, let's say, an intro that worked that maybe kept someone on the call for 10 more seconds? Because that's significant in the cold calling space, right? How are you creating this framework in your mind? What is the mindset behind being on the phones? Because that's draining. I did it in the beginning. I hated it. It's not for everybody. So what's your mindset behind that? How do you get yourself ready? Being a dad, how are you doing this while also maintaining being a good dad, right? What is your mindset? What mindset are you instilling in your daughter, right?
Mm-hmm. Daughter and son. Yeah.
Daughter and son, your family. What's the mindset? Like, you know, there's a lot of conversation about being a family man these days, right? Unfortunately, it's a little bit controversial, but I think you can lean into that. You know, are you super hard on your kids? Are you lenient with them? What kind of dad are you? You can talk about that. You don't have to show your kids if you're not comfortable, but you can talk about the mindset of that. Workout routine, I mean, that's 4:30 a.m. Damn, that's early.
And have a family, and still read books, and still do personal development, and still, you know, you mentioned you call your parents on the way to the gym and on the way to take advantage of that 15-minute car ride.
Wow.
You know, so
5 minutes.
you're juggling all kinds of things, and people like to see that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I want to know the mindset. What are you thinking? What gets you going? What's
Yeah.
your thought process? The real estate stuff,
That's just a cherry on top.
that's just the cherry on top, right? So
That's
that's what
great.
you can lean into for your own brand. And let's say 3 years on the road, 2 years, 1 year, you know, you buy XYZ in real estate, then you can start talking about that process. But right now, just focus on the skill set that you're developing, which is sales.
Yeah. So,
Am I
so
wrong?
do you have like a specific framework?
Yeah. So, you know, kind of like what we were talking about a little bit earlier, it starts with commitment, right? You know, what people invest into us to get started with, you know, building their brand isn't just about us making money, but it's also getting a commitment from them that they're dedicated to this, right? Once you pay attention and you start doing.
Yeah.
Right? So with that, once we get the commitment in place, again, the competency part, that's the easy part. So this is the framework that we start with. We use AI, and I'll kind of dive a little bit deeper
Good.
because I know this
That's
is a
beautiful.
really,
Go for it.
really interesting topic. So whenever we onboard our client, we do 3 onboarding calls. First call is, what's your offer? What are you looking to do? What's your vision? What do you see as opportunity for your brand? This is all recorded by an app that we use called Fireflies AI.
I went through it.
Yep, he went through it. We got the whole transcript, everything. The second call is we get a deep dive on your story. How'd you grow up? Did you go to college? Did you drop out? What was your first deal like? What was that experience? What was going on through your head? We want to know not only the tactical side, but also the emotional side of, you know, how did your mindset shift and change over time? What were some resources that you invested in, books that you read that helped speed along your journey? Third call, what we basically do is we wrap that up. So the reason we have AI on those calls with us is because we'll download those documents. We'll send 2 surveys over to our clients as well. Once they figure those out, we download those. And we actually create a ChatGPT bot to help us keep track of everything in their story, right? It's going to get a little bit complicated
That's cool.
here. So keep up.
Listen up.
Listen up. Take notes. So the way that we do that is through ChatGPT 4, right? You'll be able to create your own bot, upload the documents, train it a little bit to make sure it understands. We've mapped out the entire process of someone's journey from, you know, origin story all the way to obstacles, to the transformation, to the mindset shift, to any other obstacles they had. It kind of looks like a graph like this. I mean, if you want access to that, just DM me on Instagram, Natalie, MEAAGAN, and I'll send that over to you. So then we get that all mapped out. Next thing we're doing after that onboarding process is let's go into content creation. Have you guys ever heard the concept of like a lazy entrepreneur, an efficient entrepreneur?
Yeah.
That's us, right? We're trying to make this process as efficient as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to sit down on a blank screen and come up with content. What we're doing is we're looking at what's going viral across Instagram, TikTok.
That is cool. Talk
Twitter.
about that spreadsheet that you got going.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Have you seen it?
I haven't
Did I
seen
show
it,
it to you?
but you talked
I
about it.
told you about it.
No,
Talk about that.
It's
I mean,
pretty sick.
you have a whole team doing this in the background,
So
and you don't even have to think about it anymore.
no, we don't have to think
Leverage.
about
For your
anything.
clients, you know?
Exactly.
So talk about that. What is that?
We have a viral video spreadsheet where we're on these 3 platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and we're looking at what's constantly going viral. Viral for us means it's getting 50,000 views up to 1 million plus views. And it depends on the account. If you're an account that has 1,000 followers and you have a video get 20,000 views, that's viral for you. If it's $100,000 or 100,000 follower account and you're getting 20,000 views, that's your normal day. We're looking at the 100,000 views plus, right? So we have these different conditions that we're looking at across all different industries. To be honest, we don't really look at the real estate industry because it doesn't go viral.
Doesn't
too
matter.
much. Doesn't matter. We're just looking at the virality aspect of it. And if it's relevant, we're not looking at dumb meme stuff, whatever. So once we get that, we're adding it to a spreadsheet, tracking the style of content it is. We're tracking the mood of the content. Is it motivational, trendy, infotaining, etc.? How many views did it get? What's the hook for that video? And the link to the video.
Yeah.
Got it?
And to go back to like, some people think, I have to talk about real estate. I have to talk about the deal. I have to talk about the experience, the headaches of the deal. But the thing is that when people invest with you, they invest in you.
Exactly.
So it don't always think that you have to talk about real estate because that's boring.
Real estate's so boring. You could have done that in 2019 and like gone viral, but today's day and age,
people invest in you. So they want to know about you.
Exactly, exactly. So
and then you track like TikTok. You don't just track Instagram. You track TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
TikTok is the beginning of all the trends. TikTok goes viral like a week before anything on Instagram goes viral. But nobody in real estate is on TikTok, right? So, we're looking at it to catch the trends early. So what we'll do is we'll take that video, getting really into the nitty gritty.
Go for it.
Download
tactical.
it.
This is it.
We'll get the transcript of that video of whatever that person is saying, turn it into a framework, and guess what? Let me give you an example. It'll be something like, here's why I did ... Then I ... So I ... And then, or so that, blah, blah, blah. We like frame it like that. The cool part, the easy part. We take that framework, put it into your ChatGPT bot with your own story and apply it to, let's say, Adrian's story.
You just got to read it.
And now we just got to read it. Maybe make some tweaks, make it sound less robotic. Always ask ChatGPT to do it on an 8th grade reading level so it doesn't sound too smart. And boom, that's your content strategy.
Wow.
That's it.
Awesome.
So just to like touch on this too, like TikTok, there's like rumors that it's probably not going to be here, maybe.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on, if there's people, wondering, hey, Natalie, should I be on TikTok, after it's being accused of potentially not being here anymore? So what's your feedback to people who are just worried about their TikTok followers or, so.
Number one, if you're worried about followers, then you're doing it wrong, right?
Okay.
If you have a social media manager who promises you followers, promises you views, fire them, right? What you're looking at is you need to be building an ecosystem, a community, which means building an email list, right? TikTok is not the best place to build an email list, to build a community. It's great for attention. You need to funnel that attention into a different platform. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, I don't care where it is. Take it somewhere off TikTok. Because you can't even DM somebody on TikTok. It's so inefficient. You're not going to make sales.
Yeah, and like private equity firms are not on TikTok.
I would disagree.
Well, maybe they are.
Have you guys seen that jet business dude?
Jet.
Like
Jet.
He sells jets for a living.
Really?
Oh.
He went mega viral on TikTok. I mean, he even says that he's made multiple sales from people seeing him on TikTok.
Oh.
And he sells jets, which
See, that's why I'm in the real estate business,
equity
not in the
people.
social media business. So that's why we have an expert here.
For sure. So like you said, I mean, trends go, you get TikTok because it's before it hits Instagram. So if it's viral on TikTok, it's going to be eventually viral on Instagram. So you try to catch it before it gets to Instagram.
Exactly. And, personality plays a big part of it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll customize whatever your content strategy is based on the personality we get from you. We're not going to ask you, what's your personality? Like, that's a soft skill that we have. Like,
Sure.
Adrian wouldn't do a dancing video because that's
I'm
his
not.
personality.
I'll do it,
I don't know.
off the cameras.
Yeah.
But so I think one myth that I had that you helped me overcome was I feel like, I didn't do it because I have to block out a bunch of time and I have to, go to the properties and record and I have to get equipment and I have to, I felt like in the beginning, I felt like it was going to be a full-time job. And I don't have much time. I'm in the real estate business. I have to, manage assets. I have to manage investors. I have to manage a team. And so I didn't have a lot of time to think, okay, I have to shoot content. So you kind of helped me overcome that. So for the people thinking, hey, I have to have a bunch of time and I have to dedicate a bunch of hours and I have to sit and record a lot, I don't have the time. What would you tell them?
Number one, if you're going to invest into your social media presence, make sure you're committed, right? It's a long-term thing. Once you get started, you can't stop.
Yeah.
You make it a lifestyle.
It has, I would say it's a lifestyle, but it's a commitment. Just like, you guys are constantly underwriting deals. If you stop, business stops.
Yeah. 100%.
Right? It's the exact same thing, right? It's always compounding over time. So make sure you're committed first. Hire someone to help you with the content strategy who is going to basically lay everything out with your hook, what you're going to say, how you need to say it. And realistically, it shouldn't take you more than 1 to 2 hours to film and send it to your editor.
Yeah. And I think it helped me, hiring someone in-house.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I will say we are not video editors. We're not videographers. We have people who do that for us, but even better if you have a videographer who's just following you around.
Local.
Everywhere. Yeah, definitely local. Like what you're doing is perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out Josue.
Shout out Josue.
Thank you, Josue. He's doing a great job, bro.
He's doing a great
100%.
job.
Killing it.
Like that's the playbook.
He can still do
right?
better.
Of course. We're
Always.
helping him. We're helping him get there. But the playbook for anybody who's just getting started, right? Invest in somebody to help you with your social media strategy, to identify the long-term goal for your business, how you're going to get leads coming in, what kind of leads you're looking for. Then just hire a local young videographer to follow you around everywhere. Get a video editor. Boom.
And the advantage that they have is that they're learning real estate. Like you said, you started off with the huge advantage is that you're learning real estate, and this videographer is learning real estate and getting paid.
Sure.
So,
and I also told him too, you're joining, but you're going to figure out how to work hard and hustle and 10X. And, you're going to be surrounded by some, high caliber people. So don't just think about, your X amount of money that you make per week, per month. Think about the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And there's times where, our guy is like, whoa, like I've never seen this before. I'm so happy that, I'm part of this room, part of this group. And so, I think you also got to sell that vision to your videographer.
You have to. Yeah. You have to sell your vision to everybody. To sell your vision to your videographer, to Marin, to everybody on your team. If you don't know how to communicate that, then your business isn't going to work in the long term.
Yeah.
Right? So like the communication skills are tested whenever you go on social media. If you're scared to be tested with how you communicate your vision, then you're not clear on your vision, which means that you have a fragile foundation.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's very, very true.
Yeah. Another thing too that you do, you told me to when we started partnering up, you told me to screenshot like my insights.
Yep.
And how many people are viewing my profile, organic, non-organic, people that are engaging, people that are saving my reels. So you look at all these metrics and then you ask again for us to screenshot in 14 days. And you don't have, again, another myth, they don't need to have access to my profile. So that's where people say, hey, I don't want to, do this because they're going to have access to my profile. You guys don't. You just tell me what to do, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe.
Definitely say give access to your profile.
But you compare it and you track the metrics.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Metrics are very, very important. If we're talking metrics, just a quick gem here is likes are at the very bottom of the most important metric. The most important metric is going to be saves and shares, right?
Okay. Engagement is another one. Yeah.
Not even the plays, like how many views it got.
Plays, we've seen videos go viral, let's say 30,000 views, and they get 1 save, 30 likes, right? The views really don't matter. It's shares, saves, comments, views, and then likes. That would be the the rank of what's most important with engagement.
I also, I didn't really look into the insights and stuff until you told me. And there's play time or like the amount of time that they stay watching your video.
Yep. And
that's cool. Like there was a post that I made, it was probably 15 seconds long. It's another thing too. Like you don't have to make a 2-minute, hour-long video. Like it could just be some of the viral stuff that you have on your spreadsheet is just 5 seconds.
The B-roll videos. B-roll video, by the way, is going to be 5 to 7 second videos of you just walking, doing random stuff, filming scenery, showing your face, drinking coffee, working at a computer. It's the little stuff, but it gets so much attention. It's the lowest hanging fruit of getting content. One of our clients, she was going through an acquisition, just going through a lot of stuff in her business. She literally did not have the time to create content, record what we needed to record. But we got her like 50,000 views over a 30-day period just with B-roll content. 5 to 7 second videos.
Wow.
Insane.
Don't drop the mic.
I know.
It's getting intense.
Yeah. You're dropping the mic right now. Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's cool. So talk about, very big picture, some client success stories that you've had. You work with a lot of real estate investors, and I'm sure people have gotten investors from some of their content. So big picture, 2-3 client success stories that you've had.
Yeah, big picture. I do want to say is we don't take credit for any of the capital partners that they raise because it's completely dependent on their business.
Sure.
But our clients have raised multiple millions of dollars from their Instagram platforms. The biggest metric that we track is going to be sales with any kind of offer that they have. We've had clients start local masterminds, right? Just in their community. Start community, like what do you call it? Like a school platform, a Mighty Networks platform. They build a large community around them. They build masterminds for, nationally, internationally. They have a bunch of different products. That's what we track because we can actually guarantee results on that. We can't guarantee results for raising capital. So I do want to say that in the beginning. Some client success results we've had is we had a client where we got them at 20,000 followers. Took them 3 years to get to that point by themselves, which is really good. But they were stuck. They had no email list. They had no direction of what they were going. They had no intention with their social media. So we got them on, scaled them, shifted their content strategy to talk more about their story. We got them to 110,000 followers.
Nice. Launched
a mastermind program. To be honest with this person, so resistant on launching a program. Had so many followers, really solid email list. They're like, I don't want to be another, guru education person. I'm like, it's not about that. You need to build trust with your followers. If you don't have something to offer them, they're going to the next person. You need some kind of low-hanging fruit. That's why they only did a local mastermind. So we launched that one. It was a 4-week mastermind. We had a $3,000 one, I think a $5,000 one. So like VIP. We had them close in pricing. That way everybody would just go with the more expensive one. Yeah. And they did like a $97,000 launch in 4 weeks.
Launch meaning they sold $97,000 worth of program
in first week.
Wow.
In 4 weeks.
In 4 weeks.
Guys, what would you guys do with $97,000 extra a week?
I'd reinvest it in Natalie.
Exactly.
And in real estate.
Yeah. And in real estate.
This is a real estate and social media.
And so within that, people realized how much work it was to be in real estate, and they just invested in their deals, right? Yeah. So it was like a tripwire effect. Another one is we helped somebody launch a mastermind. They already had a big platform, like 200,000 followers, but again, no email list, no email newsletters. They weren't nurturing their list at all. We launched their program. They sold a pretty high ticket product, like 10 to 15,000, and they did around like 50,000 because they're $50,000 launch, just because they wanted to keep it a bit more tight knit. That one was a really easy one. Whenever I say launch, by the way, what I'm saying is from the day that we announce the product to the day that the product is, like, the doors are closed, right? So there's a whole process. We're not just going to say, hey, we have a product, go buy it, and never talk about it again. We're doing like a hype campaign with these people.
Yeah.
Right?
Alex Mosley talks about how you should not have the product. I don't know. I guess I'm going to ask you if you guys do this too. You start selling the product before you have the product.
Oh my God.
It's like a soft launch, right?
You have to. So that kind of goes into why our process is unique. We start with phase 1, content creation, build up your brand, build a foundation. Phase 2 is all about market research. This means that we're polling the audience to figure out what do they want. Hey, on your polls on your Instagram, what are you struggling with? A, B, or C? What would you do to solve this problem? How would this impact your life?
And that's incorporated in the videos that they're making.
The videos, the messaging, and the product we're creating. We had a client come to us. They spent like $15,000 to $20,000 on their course. They hired someone to record their entire course, edit their course, put it together, build the funnel. They didn't have an audience. How do you know people even want that product?
Yeah.
Right? So you build it once people tell you that they want it. So our process is all about build the foundation, ask people what they want, build it, validate it with the people that are, let's say your beta group. Once that's good, cool. Now we can scale that product. We're not going to build something from the beginning that we don't even know.
Correct. If they even want it.
Yeah.
Guys, stay tuned. We're going to have a program coming out soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very soon. Yeah. We're
an elite program.
Program.
Social syndicate, Natalie, is going to help us build this out. Yeah. So if you guys want to know more,
Stay tuned.
reach out to her.
For sure.
So we're getting close to about 42 minutes.
Nice. We could keep on going for like
100%.
Rogan style.
Yeah, I've been doing this all day though. So
I know.
a little tiring. So, oh God, where do we start? Where do we even try to end this? So, people who are investing in deals, and for example, I have a really good buddy of mine. I won't mention any names, but he just bought like a 200 unit apartment complex in Dallas, and he's one of the lead GPs on it, and he's going through an intense takeover. It's an older building. You know, the prior owner wasn't managing it properly. There was probably some upset tenants. There was a lot of maybe, you know, what do you call it? Maintenance issues that needed to be fixed. And, you know, he went in and took over, and there's a lot of action going on. You know, he's remodeling units. There's leaks. There's, you know, pools
It's
he's
like a
fixing.
reality TV show.
Yeah, like there's a lot going on. You buy the deal, and I mean, you got to execute. You know, as a lead GP, you got to be on site. You got to, you know, help every managers. You got to, you know, just be there. And he's not shooting content. You know, he's not documenting the process. And I think that a lot of people want to see that part, and they want to invest in someone who is there at takeover. And there's a lot of money left on the table, I think, when people don't show that. And I love my buddy. He's an awesome friend, and I try to really push him to, you know, shoot the content. But besides the point, there's other people that do the same thing. So what would you recommend to these people who aren't thinking of that, and maybe don't even think it's important?
I think we need to think in the way that they think, right?
Sure.
You know, let's say cost benefit analysis, or let's say the opportunity of cost, right? What is the opportunity cost? What you might be losing, which is going to be, number one, people need to know that you're still in business. People need to know what kind of leader you are, how you operate your business. This helps build trust. If you're not filming this, then you're losing out on the opportunity of showcasing this to people who potentially want to invest in your deals, partner with you, or even just bring you deals, right? So think about it that way. What are you missing out on by not filming, by not putting this out there? Or what are you gaining? Are you gaining confidence because you can do this and move in silence, right?
Yeah.
That's
I also think, you know, people try to always show the good.
Yeah,
Oh my
they
God.
don't only show the bad.
Because
they
I
think
love
that
showing
it's-
the bad.
yeah.
Sometimes,
That's so bad.
sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is too bad. You know, there's
And
mold in the. Yeah.
people like vulnerable. People like to know that you're human and that you're overcoming the mistakes that you're making.
Yeah.
So you're real.
It's because too, like if you only show the good and you only tell people the good, everything's good, everything's perfect. You should
Full
run.
of shit.
You run.
Yeah.
Like you run. Like you don't invest in that
Yeah,
person.
no way.
Because nothing goes as planned.
Exactly.
There's ups and downs, and I think you have to be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable.
And people want to see that stuff.
People, oh my God.
So
The bad
talk
goes
about
viral.
it. Yeah.
We had a client, she acquired an RV park with a crazy story, crazy takeover, kind of similar to this, but probably not as crazy. Whenever she bought it, the owner didn't tell him what kind of business he was operating. And he was operating a men's only, clothing optional RV park.
Wait, what?
Where's this at?
What? I'm confused.
Guess what state?
Texas.
California?
No.
Florida.
Oh, come on. Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, that's some Florida stuff right there.
Yeah.
So it's a men's only clothing optional RV park that she had bought. In the back, whenever she was doing the inspection with like the inspector dude, he was like, "What is that white tent back there?" And she's like, "I don't know. The owner didn't show me that tent." She walks in. There's a sex swing. There's glory holes. Like it was this whole thing. She recorded it, and this went viral.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
It was.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it was a good thing. So we did like a voiceover showcasing like, oh my God, you know, I don't know what I just bought. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do. Obviously
Like
making
due
it,
diligence?
making it a little bit more dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made this into a 3-part series. So we basically farmed the attention to continue watching the videos and get them to follow us for more content.
Mm-hmm.
So most people wouldn't show that because it's embarrassing. It's weird. It's gross. And her intention is to turn this into a family park, right? So from a men's only clothing.
make-
Yeah,
option
that's
to a family park.
tough.
That's
Wow.
tough. And she's like, whoa, I was not expecting this. Long story short, no, they took that down, rebranded the park, got new tenants, kicked all the tenants
Challenge
out.
accepted.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
people are watching this journey. They're low-key obsessed with watching the progress of her, you know, getting rid of these campers, only getting $2,000 for these 2 campers that she thought was worth $20,000 or something like that. They're getting to experience her whole journey, all the good, the bad, the stuff that gets really hard. And yeah, that's
Sure.
how you build a community of people who keep up with your stuff.
And then they're gonna go back and reinvest with her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They bad into a good. Oh, I think it's not bad for some people, but from bad looking into the neighborhood, I'm sure too, they're gonna be very grateful with her.
Oh yeah.
That
Change that around. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Natalie, your ideal client, I'm sure you just don't take anybody, you know,
No.
you don't just say, all right, guys, as long as you have the money, pay up and I'll work with you. So who's your ideal client? And then as we start wrapping this up, you know, where do you see your company going? Where are you trying to take this? So let's start with ideal client. Where are you trying to take this? And, you know, the next 5 years, what does it look like for you?
Sweet. So our ideal client is somebody who's committed to growing their brand on social media. They have experience either in commercial real estate, multifamily, residential real estate, but we're also taking on people who just have boring businesses. So we're talking to some mergers and acquisition guys, people who own laundromats, car washes. We want all the boring people who own boring businesses to allow them the opportunity to come online and to showcase what the cool stuff that they've done. The way that we basically help people, we'll meet you with where you're at. If you're just getting started, we're not going to say, hey, we'll take everything over. We're going to start off by giving you the roadmap, get you to execute on that. And then once you see some momentum and success, ideally we'll partner together to just scale your brand to the moon. And we'll work together for a really long time. Where we see this taking this, like I said, we really, really value strong relationships. We want to partner with everybody that we work with. So in the next 5 years, we're looking to buy boring businesses ourselves and implement modern marketing practices, not only with social media, Google SEO, just modern marketing, digital marketing, but also to, you know, I'll kind of seed this in, but we're looking at, I hopefully start some kind of software company to kind of fill in some gaps that we're seeing in the market right now. I won't dive too deep into that, but that would be something super exciting.
We'll save that for round 2.
Well, we'll save that for round 2.
Stay tuned.
2.0.
Exactly. So ideally we get into buying businesses, boring businesses,
Cool.
and eventually buying other marketing companies up as, you know, they're going out of business and we can save them.
Yeah. There's a lot of people going out of business right
Distressed market
now. Yeah.
just right now. That's great.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very
And I mean, you know, I saw the value in her company and in her, and, you know, you actually talk the talk and walk the walk.
She
I'm not
lives
going to
it.
make it easy for you. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But
As
like
long
you
as you're
actually do
committed.
it. Like you go on the camera
Oh yeah,
for yourself.
definitely.
And you talk about your
Traveling.
life. And you, I mean, do you follow her?
Yeah, I follow her.
Yeah. I mean, she posts stuff almost every day. I did
Yeah.
call you out. Well,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
did.
in Colombia,
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
did.
hey, I haven't seen anything that you're not posting anything. I don't know.
Mhm.
You have ups and downs, right? It's a roller
Mhm.
coaster ride. Entrepreneurship roller coaster. Very good
Yeah.
book, Darren Hardy.
True.
But you actually back it up,
Mhm.
and I like that. You know, because, you know, that's why I invest in Brad's programs,
Mhm.
because he doesn't just teach, he buys deals and
Yeah.
he puts his money where his mouth is.
Mhm.
And he actually, you know, has a good ecosystem and he buys deals. And so
Exactly.
I want to invest in people and partner with people that are actually doing what they say they do.
Mhm.
And I want to congratulate you. Keep it
Thank
up.
you.
And so I'm super excited to see where this thing goes. I know, you know, what we planned maybe didn't happen as fast as we wanted, but we're still working. And probably when this finishes, we'll go into a more deeper strategic dive into how we can operate better.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think there's room for all of us to grow. I think that it's really great to surround yourself by people who give you that feedback, that show you not only the good, but also, like we said, the bad, the ugly, where you need to improve. Because
Sure. And you'll call us out. Like
Oh, yeah.
like she'll call us out. She'll be like, hey, no, don't post that. Or, hey, delete it. Like,
That's
or,
great.
or no, I didn't like the hook. Like, I need that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but because if you partner with someone that's like, oh dude, it was great. Good job. You know, good job. Everything that you do, it's like, bro, I mean, are you being serious?
Mm-hmm.
So you actually call people out. And I like that. You're real, you're raw. And that's what gets results.
They're just to be improving, right? I mean, and I haven't jumped in the meetings that you had with Natalie, but I follow up with you and you tell me like, hey, Martin, do this, write this, and I implement it as well. Because I mean, I'm barely starting off on Instagram doing more Snapchats. I'm mainly posting in my stories.
But it's working.
Yeah.
You're getting an audience.
So slowly but surely, more people are, and that's what I want to be able to help my community back home in the valley.
We were talking about that
Yeah.
way over here.
So on the way over here, it's like growth, right? So there's individuals that think that they can't be in these rooms, or they can't buy 200 units. They can't raise money.
Especially where we come from.
Yeah. They have the mentality that, I mean, I don't have money, I can't invest. Like OPP, you use other people's money, you leverage, but I mean, just put yourself in the right rooms, just do it. So I really want to impact those individuals to change their mind to, like, I mean, if I can do it, I'm from your city, then you can do it too.
And you do that through social media. I mean, it's a free platform. You know, everyone's watching. You have all eyes.
And everything we do is organic, so you don't have to do any paid ads or anything. It's just consistency and commitment. That's the biggest, like you said, we're very hard on the people we work with. Like the first 2 weeks, we're calling them out if they sound like robots.
You even do an audit.
Guys.
You audited my profile and you were like, all right, this got to go.
This sucks.
And,
gotta go.
Good.
Yeah. And you changed a lot, bro. There's a lot of things that I barely started. I followed you for a while, really didn't dig into it until you pointed it out that you were going to take off a lot of things because you had a lot of traveling before.
Yeah.
I went through it and I was like, damn, the pictures are not there.
Cleaned up.
Tony as well. Tony implemented.
Yeah,
and
he archived everything. I was like, bro, you don't got to archive everything.
I think he left four videos.
So he's really taking action. Shout out Tony Bimbo.
Yeah,
Shout
no,
out
he's
Tony.
great.
Bimzilla.
Just his birthday, right?
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
I'll leave
La
it off
Pantera.
on this, right? If you actually have a commitment to changing your community, making an impact, providing opportunities to others, then use this platform. Don't just consume on this platform. Produce content to be able to make an impact on others and have a commitment to help them over a long period of time. For the sake of those people on the other side of the screen, don't give 50% of your effort. 100% or 0%. You got to make a decision.
That's awesome. Thanks, Natalie, for coming
That's
through.
great.
Gracias.
Where can people find you?
Follow me on Instagram at Natalie, MEAAGAN. I'm the girl with the green.
Jump on a call with her. The green, the background, the money.
Totally worth it.
Green with the money, you saw it.
I pay attention. So yeah, reach out to her, get on a call, see if it's the right fit for you. It's not a right fit for anybody, everybody. But if it is, pull the trigger. You won't regret it.
For the 210 podcast, anybody who books a call with me, just DM me 210 and I'll walk you through the viral video spreadsheet that we talked about on this call. That way, at least you have some action steps to go with.
Nice.
That's
Cool.
great.
Thanks, Natalie, for coming through.
Gracias.
Appreciate it.